Before we start the video, I want to take this time to shout out my KOG member of the month, Ryan McDonough. Big thanks for being a loyal KOG member. If you want your name here, consider hitting that join button for exclusive channel benefits. How's it going, guys? RNG Life here, and today we got a new announcement of the new box, or new main box that's coming out called Truth Universe. And it looks like it's bringing some Malefic support. Now, here's the thing, Malefic monsters have never been really good. Here's some fun facts. Actually, Malefics were used by the main antagonist in Lands Beyond Time YuGiOh movie, and it was used by a guy named Paradox, and that's referenced in a lot of the cards. But today we're going to be talking about the new cards that are in this set. Malefic Stardust Dragon is literally the best, one of the best Malefic monsters you can get, so it would make sense that he'd be a UR. So let's go ahead and take a look at what are the best cards in Truth Universe. So like I said, first things first, we got Malefic Stardust Dragon. This guy is awesome. I really like Malefic Stardust Dragon. This guy has a few effects like all Malefics do, but one of them is really good. The rest of them are all downsides because that's kind of how Malefics roll. It says it cannot be normal summon in the set, must be special summon from your hand by banishing a Stardust Dragon. So for Blue Eyes, it would banish a Blue Eyes from the deck because this one banishes Stardust Dragon from the extra deck, so on and so forth. So pretty cool, easy summoning condition, not bad, and cannot be special summoned by the ways. So no monster reborning it, so on and so forth, unless you use a special card that Malefics just got, which is pretty cool. Effect number 2, there can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field. That is one of the downsides of Malefics. Basically, say they kind of hog up the board and say, no other Malefics allowed, I'm gonna be the only Malefic. And yeah, that is a downside, but thanks to one of the actual SR cards, that might be fixing this. The good effect is face-up field spell cards cannot be destroyed by effects. Now that's amazing, that's really good, because the thing about Malefics is if you destroy their field spell, they die for the most part. But yeah, so because it does say if there is no face-up field spell card on the field, destroy this card. And it also has another effect, another downside, by the way, that says other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. So the thing about Malefic Stardust Dragon is it's cool, it's a free boss monster, and it's the only one that can do anything. Next up, we got Ancient Pixie Dragon. Now, this is a Dragon Synchro, an alternate version to the other Ancient Fairy Dragon. After resolving a field spell card that was activated during your turn, draw one card. That is a really good effect. Awesome. A free draw card. It's going to be a once per turn only because that's what second effect says. You can only use the effect of Ancient Pixie once per turn. Once per turn, it also has the ability that you can target one face-up attack position monster in the field and destroy that target. Literally gets rid of it, and that's pretty cool too. And it says there must be a face-up field spell card on the field to activate and resolve this effect. So if you got a field spell, this thing is really good at just being generally aggressive. So you play this thing, play a field spell, draw a card, destroy your opponent's face-up attack position monster, then just you can either battle or set this guy in defense, and GG, or girl. Technically in canon it's like a female. But yeah, so Ancient Pixie Dragon is looking pretty good as a generic level 7 if you are running field spells. This is the start of the DDD takeover. So DDDs are here. We got Flame King Genghis. Now DDDs are interesting. They're a little bit confusing to me because I know we have DD monsters in the game, but they're D.D. These guys need D/D. The fusion requirements are 2 DD monsters. I don't know if you can use DD Warrior Lady and stuff like that. I don't know if they count because I know Yu-Gi-Oh is very picky about its like text. So D/D and D.D might be different. Let me know in the comments below. I would appreciate that, but whatever. It says if another DD monster is special summoned to your field while you control this face-up card, except during the damage step, of course, you can target one DD monster in the graveyard and special summon it, which is really nice. Literally, it's like if you summon another monster, you get to special summon another one, so you can get your whole board filled with 3 monsters, which is not bad at all. You can only use the effect of this guy once per turn if this card is destroyed by battle, or if it's in the owner's possession and destroyed by opponent's card effect. You can target one Dark Contract card in your graveyard and add that thing to your hand, dude. So I think that's pretty cool. Basically what this guy does is He's really good at just kind of swarming the board. And he's super easy to make, by the way. Only 2 DD monsters. Yeah, he's gonna be your kind of go-to guy. You go into him once, GG. You got a board established. And yeah, and also the contract cards are kind of crazy. So yeah, let's go keep moving. The next card is Malefic Paradox Gear, and we got that Malefic support, and I think this card definitely helps the consistency of the deck. This is a really good card. Basically, what it says, if you have a face-up field spell on the field, you contribute this card, special summon 1 Malefic Parallel Gear from your deck, then add a Malefic monster from your deck to your hand except itself. That is a really good effect because you literally get your 1 tuner monster from the deck onto the field, then add whatever Malefic monster to your hand. Usually you're going to want to add like a level 8, which is maybe Stardust or maybe like a Blue Eyes or something. And then you can use the other gear guy, the Malefic Parallel Gear's ability, if you have the field spell, of course. If you use his ability, he can actually synchro with the Malefic card in your hand, the Malefic level 8 in your hand. And you can go into their Malefic Paradox Dragon, I believe it's called, which is really cool. He's like a big boy, but we'll talk about him in a bit. But yeah, Malefic Paradox Gear kind of sets up those plays. It's really good, and those aren't even all the effects I covered, I had talked about. So he's got one more effect actually, and it says, if a Malefic monster would banish a monster to special summon itself its own way, you can banish this card you control or in the graveyard instead. So that is really cool. Also, each one of his effects is a once per turn. So that's pretty interesting. At least it doesn't lock all the other effects out. But yeah, basically it means you can use this card. If you have a field spell, you can pretty much end up with a big synchro monster. And you can banish it to summon another Malefic monster, so you'll possibly have 2 huge monsters on the board, which is really cool. So Malefic Paradox Gear, understandably a UR card. DD Swirl Slime. I honestly think this card is also another card that definitely deserves that UR status, because in the DD deck, it's all about fusing, and sometimes you're just like, you know what, no, I don't want to use polymerization, dude, that's dumb. I want to fuse with like more interesting methods. One of them is using DD Swirl Slime. This card, it literally lets you use it as a polymerization, and it takes up the monster slot too. So it kind of contact uses in your hand, and that is really cool. So it says, if this card is in your hand, you can fusion summon 1 DDD fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand as fusion materials, including this card. So nice, very cool right there. You can banish this card from the grave as well to special summon 1 DD monster from your hand. So that pretty much triggers the big fusion guy's effect to summon another DD monster, pretty much the one you sent to the grave. So you just get so many effects, and that's pretty cool, especially if one of them is a tuner. Then you can continue to synchro, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, so this is a really good card, and it sets up a lot of plays as well for DDDs. Degrade Busters is a really cool card. I really like the name, and it's the first Cyber's card that we are looking at in like history of Duel Links. So very cool. Degrade Buster just sounds cool. I love his name, and he's not a bad like kind of boss monster, to be honest. It says it cannot be normal summoned or set, must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 2 Cyber's type monsters from your graveyard. So it's kind of like a Chaos Sorcerer. That's how you summon it, and it says it must be first, kind of like Chaos Sorcerer. So awesome. You can target 1 monster your opponent controls with higher attack than this card. Quick effect, by the way. So you can use it on your opponent's turn before they even attack, before they even like do anything. The quick effect means that you can use it on your opponent's turn. Quick effect makes a card really good. Banish it until the end phase. So literally, you summon this guy, you can banish your opponent's strong Blue Eyes, for example, attack directly. Their turn, they get a big boy back, they get Blue Eyes, they try to attack you, you banish it again, survive, and just keep doing it over and over. The only downside is if they get a second big monster, well, then that becomes dangerous. But yeah, Degrade Buster is actually really cool. So it banishes till the end phase, and you can only use his effect once per turn. So really cool. Degrade Buster is actually really awesome. Dark Dust Spirit is finally in Duel Links. I forgot we didn't have this card. It's kind of crazy that we are just getting it now. But Dark Dust Spirit is actually really strong spirit monster. So what this guy does is basically, he's a spirit, so he cannot be special summoned. During the end phase of the turn, this card is normal summon or flip face up. Return it to the hand because he's a spirit, of course. You guys know this. You guys know this ruling. But when this card is normal summoned or flip face up, it destroys all other face up monsters on the field. So as soon as this boy hits the field, he's going to wipe the board. This is why Konami took so long to give us this card. And I think this is really, really cool. Dark Dust Spirit is awesome, dude. So yeah, and especially like a tribute deck, like Monarchs or something. Dude, this could be pretty cool. Only downside is he does bounce back to the hand, but I'm sure we can see what we can do about that. But Dark Dust Spirit is really, really interesting. I like it. Miscellaneousaurus is in the game, dude. People have been like kind of leaky. Like there was leaks about this card. They're like, oh, we're gonna get the new dinosaur support. Oh my god, we're gonna get the Super Conductor Ultimate Tyranno Big Boy. But no, we got Miscellaneousaurus though, and this guy's really, really good because he's got a few effects, and the main one you're gonna be using is pretty much his ability to banish a bunch of dinos from the grave up to the number of the level of the monster you want to summon. I guess the main play we're gonna have in Duel Links, since we don't have the super like good big boss monster, is to summon that level 3 Tyranno Infinity or whatever his name is, the one that gets 1,000 attack for each banished dino. So you could potentially summon that guy with 3,000, at least 3,000 attack. So that is pretty cool. Miscellaneousaurus is going to be really, really useful for that. It says during either player's main phase, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. During this main phase, dinosaur type monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, which is super great. It's just really, really nice. Also, it's during either player's turn, so you can use it on your opponent's turn before they're about to like pop off and they're going to destroy your whole board. You just use this guy and protect your dinos, and now they're going to have to run over them the old-fashioned way, caveman Yu-Gi-Oh style. Just a break. Over here it basically says activate only when your opponent declares an attack against a face-up normal monster you control, and it literally just says destroy all monsters on the field except face-up attack position normal monsters. I don't know, I feel like it's very limited though, because we're not going to be using it unless we run normal monsters, so otherwise it's an okay card. Now for the SRs, we got DDD, Ghost Hiking Alexander. So this is our synchro for DDD, or at least one of them, dude. I think we got a whole bunch of them, dude. But yeah, so and by the way, these guys are the support of what's his name, dude? I don't know his English name, dude. Akabareji, I think his name is in Japanese. I only watch him in Japanese. But yeah, DDD, Ghost Hiking Alexander. Pretty cool card. Basically, if 3 or more DD monsters are on the field, which I mean all of them are going to, you're almost always going to have 3 of them for some reason, because they all have that ability to just summon another one. But yeah, monsters on the field. This card gains 3,000 attack, so it becomes 6,000 attack. This Mad Lad becomes actually 6,000. That is kind of insane. That is a good reason for them to attack Blue Eyes, you know? And then you use Dusty Break on them and mess them up, so I guess. But yeah, so if another DD monster is normal or special summoned to your field while this monster is on the field, you can pretty much revive another DD monster from the grave. So cool, special summon it. You can only use the effect of this guy once per turn, so they all basically do the same thing, which is summoning all your other boys. This guy's effect though to become 6,000 is insane for that OTK. So yeah, Ghost Hiking Alexander is kind of crazy. Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon is an SR. I honestly didn't expect this to be an SR, but I guess they're just like, you know what, yeah, let's make Blue Eyes an SR. Even though he's not really one of the ones you run, but I guess they didn't give us the other big Malefic monsters, so it makes sense that they have to give us some other Malefic card. So yeah, the thing about Malefic Blue Eyes is you have to run a vanilla Blue Eyes in your deck, which is already kind of like, okay. But it's fair, it's cool, because Malefic Blue Eyes on the draw is literally a free summon. Because it says cannot be normal summon set, must be special summon by banishing a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck. Very, very cool. But the only downside is if you draw in hand, dude, that's not cool though. That's not good. If you draw your Blue Eyes, you're screwed, man. Especially if you're only running one. So maybe if you kind of run this in a Blue Eyes deck, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, so let's see what else it says. Well, Blue Eyes deck that actually uses field spells, of course. There can only be one Malefic monster on the field. Other monster controls cannot declare an attack, and there is no face-up field spell. This guy dies. So he doesn't have an additional effect. He's just 3,000, and he's super easy to get out. So yeah, I mean, Malefic Blue Eyes is a pretty good beater, and he's easy to summon if you can keep that one of Blue Eyes in the deck, or two of. I don't know if you want to run that many bricks in your deck, my dude. Malefic Rainbow Dragon. Now, I absolutely do not know why this card is an SR. Same thing as Blue Eyes. I guess they put them all on that same tier because they didn't give us the, what is it, the Cyber Dragon Fusion. Malefic, which is one of the actual good ones, the 4,000 attack boy. They didn't give us that one, which is kind of lame. But Malefic Rainbow Dragon is here. This guy is pretty much the same as Blue Eyes. That says it cannot be normal summon set, must be summoned by removing Rainbow Dragon from the hand or deck. That one's actually a little bit better. That one's actually a little bit, I could see people running this over Blue Eyes, actually. The only downside is you're running literally Rainbow Dragon in a deck that's not meant to summon Rainbow Dragon. And at least with the other Blue Eyes, you could potentially summon Blue Eyes with some of the Blue Eyes support. But yeah, so I guess at the cost of having Rainbow Dragon in your deck, you can use it from the hand or deck. There can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's no field spell, it dies. So, Malefic Rainbow, pretty cool 4,000 beater, and 0 defense though. 0 defense though, I don't know. Dino Wrestler, Capoeira Raptor. I automatically have respect for this card because as a man who has studied the arts of capoeira, I like the aesthetic of this card. This attack position card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is attacked, it changes your defense position at the end of the damage step. During the standby phase, if this card is in defense position, you can special summon one Dino Wrestler Capoeira Raptor from the deck, and you can only use the effect of this guy once per turn. So he's pretty cool because he gets out more copies of him. Also, if you know the lore of capoeira and how capoeira actually works, so as a fighting style, it makes a lot of sense for this guy to go into defense when he's being attacked. It just makes a lot of sense. Even though he has 0 defense and he's just gonna die, but there are other Dino Wrestler cards that you can use as hand traps to basically say, I protect my boy. So you can do that. You're gonna usually want them to switch him to defense, so he is in defense on your standby phase, so you can get another free summon. So you might be using some support to maybe make your monster unkillable, like impenetrable attack or something. That could be pretty good. Guard Dragon and Drake is also here, and what caught me off guard is that this guy's a level 4 2,000 attack monster, and I was like, whoa, really? But no, then it says, the literally first line says cannot be normal summoned or set, so I'm just like, lame, dude. I wanted to normal summon this guy. But yeah, this guy must be special summoned by a card effect. If this guy is special summoned from the hand or deck, you can double this card's original attack and defense. Usually just, I mean, you only really care about the attack. And you can basically keep that boost for until the end of the next turn. So basically, you're going to have a 4,000 beater for a while. That's pretty cool. If this card is special summoned from the graveyard, or if this banished card is special summoned, so summoning from the deck, you can make his attack double. Summoning from the graveyard, you get an extra ability actually, and that's pretty cool. So you bring him from the graveyard or from the banished pile. You can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it, which is not bad. You can only use each of the effects of this guy once per turn. So imagine you can like send this guy to the graveyard immediately, summon him from the graveyard, get both effects. Dude, that would be pretty crazy. You'll literally pop their monster and attack directly for 4,000. So Andrake is not bad. I like this card. It's kind of crazy. I definitely want to see the meme decks working for this guy. Here is the card that works for Malefics, and this is the best card for Malefics in general. Malefic Territory is insane. It is a continuous spell that says when this card is activated, you can literally activate a field spell from the deck called Malefic World. So Malefic World, I mean, the Malefic World isn't that great. I think the only effect of Malefic World is like, instead of drawing, you can basically reveal 3 cards to your opponent that are Malefic cards, and you can they pick one at random and it gets drawn instead of the other one. So that's its only effect. But this thing lets you get it from the deck, which is awesome because that means this card is a field spell. It continues to state, while that card is in the field zone, neither player can target a cards in the field zone with card effects. So that is insanely good. Basically, Cosmic Cyclone used to be your out for Malefics, Because, I mean, the thing about Stardust is, like, you probably thought, like, oh, yeah, I can't destroy your field spell? Okay, I'll just banish it then. I'll just pay 1,000 and banish it. This card says you cannot target it. So, you cannot use your what is it, Cosmic Cyclone to get rid of the field spell. They're probably just going to be banishing Malefic territory, to be honest. Because if people don't read, they're going to be banishing the only thing available, and it's going to be this card. The Malefic monster effect. There can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field becomes there can only be one face-up Malefic monster on the field with the same name during the battle phase. And also, by the way, during the battle phase, it negates the effects of face-up Malefic monsters on the field. So, you guys know why this card is so good? Basically, it takes away the rule that says you can only have one Malefic monster. So now you can have a Malefic Stardust and a Malefic Rainbow Dragon or a Malefic Blue Eyes or whatever you want to summon. You can have multiple now. That's awesome. That's really, really good. And of course, you can't have 2 different copies of Malefic Stardust, which is kind of lame, but it's still a really, really nice upgrade. Also, on top of that, when your monsters enter battle phase, it negates their effects. Therefore, you can attack with all your Malefics, and that is freaking crazy. So, Malefic territory is definitely really, really good support for Malefics, and just the fact that we got this card means that this deck might be pretty good. Dark Contract with the Gate. This guy says during the main phase, during your main phase, you can add 1 DD monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of this card once per turn, and once per turn during your standby phase, take 1,000 damage, my dude. Which is kind of unfortunate, but that's like a thing about all the Dark Contract cards. They all like make you pay, or not pay, you take 1,000 damage. So you can actually lose if you don't have like the life points to pay for these cards. So it is kind of insane that you're literally giving yourself Lava Golem with these cards. So, whew. It's a risk, but you're going to have to OTK them probably, I don't know. So Dark Contract is kind of crazy. Next card is Rainbow Bridge, super easy, add a crystal, spell, or trap from the deck to your hand. I like the fact that they added this. Isn't this an anime only card? I'm not sure. It's too simple, but yeah, Rainbow Bridge is really, 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 really good support for Crystal Beast. So there you go, Crystal Beast lovers. Dark Contract with the Swamp King. This is what I'm talking about, the Dark Contract cards. This is one of the good ones, actually. It says, during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Fiend-type fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials. And you can only use the effects of this card once per turn. If summoning a DD fusion monster this way, you can also banish from the graveyard the fusion materials. So that's also kind of crazy. And of course, during the standby phase, you take 1,000 damage. So all these cards make you take that 1,000 damage. All of them Lava Golem you basically, but you're able to fusion so easily. I can see people replacing this with just some polys, but or just maxing out on the actual YuGiOh Slime card, but I don't know, dude. The ability to just fuse like that, that's kind of crazy. Are you willing to pay the life points? Crystal Conclave is probably one of the better Crystal Beast cards, and we finally got it. This is one of the cards that made, what was it, like Jesse? Like, we got like a Super Jesse kind of event once, and this is what made him so hard to farm, because this card is annoying. It says once per turn, if a face-up Crystal Beast monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster from the deck, so like Carbuncle or something, I don't know. That would usually let you summon more things, but you can send this card from the field to the graveyard, then target 1 Crystal Beast card you control and 1 card on the field, and return them to the hand. So it's such a good card, dude, because you literally get one of your Crystal Beast like monsters that are on the field, the back row, like the Crystal Beast monsters that are in the back row, and you get to bounce them back to bounce one of your opponent's actually threatening cards. So this is something that would make Crystal Beast fairly competitive as well. So Crystal Conclave is like one of their better cards. So yeah, it also continues to say, return to the hand. You cannot activate these effects in the same chain, which I guess is important, but cool. Very, very cool. So you can't just do it all in one like shot, one go. You have to kind of wait for your monster to be summoned, and then you'll get to use your effect. But yeah, let's keep things moving. And then the last SR we're talking about is Acid Trap Hole, which is a super classic card, dude. I remember getting this card, what was it, when I bought my Game Boy Dark Duel Stories or something like that. Acid Trap Hole is one of those cards that we got in there. I had like, this is in secret rare. It's a really, really cool card. This is a really cool card though, because it says target 1 face down defense position monster on the field, flip it face up, and destroy it if its defense is 2,000 or less. or return it face down if its defense is more than 2,000. So Acid Trap Hole is like a thing that we probably should have gotten a long time ago, and I don't know, dude. Acid Trap Hole's a really, really old card. It's a really classic card. But this card is like something that we would have gotten back when it was like caveman style Yu-Gi-Oh! Or maybe even Sylvans. It's a fairly cool card. I don't know if it's going to be seeing too much meta play, but I think it's interesting. It depends if there's going to be a lot of defense mode setting or whatever in the future, but whatever. Now, those were all the SRs and URs in this set. Like I said, there's some really, really good ones. Like, of course, Malefic Stardust is cool. The Swirl Slime is awesome. The Malefic Territory is just out of this world, just really, really good. For Crystal Beast, dude, we got Conclave and the Rainbow Bridge. Super, super good cards. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We have a lot of stuff to cover, and I don't have all the time in the world to talk about all these cards, but let me know what you guys are most excited about, because we're going to get a lot of really, really interesting cards in this set, and I really want to know what you guys are a big fan of, dude. Are you guys just a big fan of like all the Cybers cards coming to the game? Maybe you're a big Dino Wrestler fan. Let me know in the comments below. But whatever, that's pretty much that. We're gonna look at the best card in this box, and we're gonna go ahead and sign out, but whatever. And if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, share, and subscribe for more dueling shenanigans. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Have a great day, and see you.